As it pleases the court, my lord, has been indicated in the court's chamber. I have been requested by Mr. Mgomezulu yesterday, soon after the adjournment, to proceed to stand in on his behalf, basically to be his proxy. This is necessitated by the fact that he needed to go see a doctor yesterday to review his attendance to the doctor, which he had with the doctor last week. Now, he further indicated that he's not so sure what is it that the doctor would then tell him yesterday with regard to his attendance to court today. But now that he's not here, it seems to me that the doctor had requested him to be at home. I don't know for how many days, but he then also again requested that in an event that he's not yet either today or even tomorrow, I should continue to stand in on his behalf. And then I said to him, no, I don't have a problem, I may do that. But emphatically, he mentioned that he is only avoiding, he's doing this to avoid, to request a further postponement of this case in order to prolong it on account of his condition. I requested him to discuss his request with his client, Mr. Sibiya, in his presence, and Mr. Sibiya confirmed that he does not have a problem if I honor Mr. Mgomezulu's request. I would therefore request that the court also confirm that arrangement with Mr. Sibiya, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Thanks. Just interpret for...
Okwenzekayo ke namuhla njengoba sibona ukuthi ubaba uMgomezulu akekho nabameli bacela ukuthi bahambe bayobona umehluleli ehhovisi lakhe. Sekuyabuywa ke manje inkulumo ke noma bekhulunywa ke khona lapho ila ubaba uMgomezulu acele khona ubaba umnisi ukuthi ke kube uyena ke ozommela nanjengoba engekho ethi ke ugwema ukuthi ke icala liphinde lihlehlisweke ngoba engazi ke ukuthi nanjengoba izolo bezobuyela kudokotela udokotela uzothini kuyena nanjengoba sesibona ukuthi akekho namuhla okushoyo ke ukuthi ngempela udokotela ushilo ukuthi ke akahlaleke endlini esingazi ukuthi amalanga amangaki. Manje ke uthi ke uadvocate umnisi umayitshela inkantolo ukuthi lokho kwenziwe ukhona ke wena baba uSibiya ubiziwe nawe washo ke nawe ukuthi cha awunankinga uma kuukuthi ke nanjengoba engekho baba uMgomezulu uadvocate umnisi usengaqhubeka ke namuhla kube uyena ke omela yena ubaba uMgomezulu.
Yes, thanks. Yes, Mr. Sibiya, stand up, please. You have heard the discussions regarding the condition of your advocate, Mr. Mgomezulu. Is that so, sir?
Uzwile ke isimo mayelana nommeli wakho ubaba uMgomezulu angithi kunjalo? Yes, my lord.
You agree and confirm the arrangements that Advocate Nisi will stand in his stead on your behalf?
Uyavumelana ke futhi ke uyaqinisekisa lokho oqeda ukukhulunywa uyena ke uadvocate umnisi ukuthi ke nikhulumile nazwana ukuthi ke baba umnisi angaqhubeka ke nanjengoba engekho baba uMgomezulu. Yes, my lord.
Okay, thank you.
Siyabonga.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
As the court pleases, my lord. Is this one?
Please be reminded that you are still under oath, Brigadier.
Yes, my lord.
Brigadier Gininda, when we adjourned yesterday, we requested you to place the rest of the information that appears on the annexure to Exhibit E5. You had progress up to the 19th of March 2015. These are the withdrawals from the net bank account of accused number 1. You can proceed.
Yes, my lord. So
you can start there on the 19th of March 2015.
Okay. So the date, my lord, is 2015 March the 19th. Time is 12:22:58 seconds. The type of transaction, just hang on, my lord, it was a cash withdrawal and it was at Itala Shopping Center, Ulundi. The second one is 2015 July 15, time 12:05:24 seconds. It was a cash withdrawal at shop 11A and 11B, corner MC Johannesburg, SGZA. The next entry, my lord, is 2015 July 15, again same date, time 12:08:11 seconds, cash withdrawal at the same shop, shop 11A and shop 11B, corner MC Johannesburg, SGZA. The next entry, my lord, is 2015 July 16, 13:22:56 seconds. It's a cash withdrawal at shop 11A and 11B. No, 104 and 106, level 100, Johannesburg, SGZA, my lord. The next entry is 2015 July 16, same date, 13:48:18 seconds. It's for goods and services, the papers, and the location, my lord, it simply says 1RW 174 CPT WZA. That's all it says in terms of the location. The next entry is 2015 July 16, 13:54:58 seconds, goods and services again. It was at Spitz Carlton Center in Johannesburg. The next entry is 2015 July 16, 14:03:51 seconds, goods and services. It was Studio Carlton in Johannesburg, my lord. Then the next entry is 2015 July the 16th, 15:54:54 seconds in terms of the time. It's goods and services as well. That was, the location is Overland Liquors Foslo, Johannesburg, ZA. Next entry is 2015 July 17, 10:58 seconds. It was a cash withdrawal, my lord. It was Corner Jack and Victoria, 5th Germiston, EGZA. Next entry, 2015 July 07, time 11:07:46 seconds. It's goods and services, the purpose thereof. Goods and services, and it was Studio Germiston, Johannesburg, the location, my lord. The next entry is 2015 July 19, 11:10 with 27 seconds in terms of the time. It was a cash withdrawal, and it was at ABSA Johannesburg Central, Prinsloo, Johannesburg, ZA. Next entry is 2015 July 20. Time is 18:20:40 seconds. It was a cash withdrawal, my lord. It was at shop 11A and 11B, Naledi, SV Foslo, VTZA in Fosloras. Next entry is 2015 July the 21st, my lord. Time is 11:11:46 seconds. It was a cash withdrawal at shop 11A and 11B, Naledi, S Fosloras, VTZA. Next date 2015 July the 22nd, time 16:23:04 seconds, cash withdrawal, and it was at DNR Fosloras, Naledi M Fosloras 09ZA, my lord. The next date is 2015 July the 28th, 14:52:14 seconds. It was a cash withdrawal at shop 11A and 11B, Naledi S Johannesburg, SGZA. Then the next entry is 2015 July the 31st, 08:04:23 seconds. It was a cash withdrawal, but it says insufficient, so it didn't go through, my lord, because it says insufficient funds, but the purpose was a cash withdrawal, and then it was done at corner Brookfield and Blair in Johannesburg, SGZA. Next entry is 2015 July 31, time 08:05 13 seconds, cash withdrawal. Also didn't go through at the same location, corner Brookfield and Blair, Johannesburg, SGZA. Next entry 2015 07 31, same date my lord, 08:05 58 seconds, cash withdrawal. That was at the same location, corner Brookfield and Blair, Johannesburg, SGZA. Yes, that is the last one, my lord.
Thank you.
Izolo-ke izolo-ke besibheke ukusebenza-ke kwekhadi elase-Standard Bank, namuhla-ke lana ukusebenza kwekhadi lase-Nedbank. Siqala ngazo 19 kuMarch 2015, isikhathi u-12:22 nama-seconds awu-58. Kwakhishwa-ke imali kwenzeka lokho-ke eThala Shopping Center uLundi. Kwase kuthi ngeyi-15 zika July 2015, isikhathi u-12:05:24, nalapho kwakhishwa imali ku-shop 11A noma ke istolo u-11A no-11B ekhona yase-MC eJohannesburg. Bese kuthi ngeyi-15 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi 12:06 nama-seconds awu-11, kwakhishwa imali istolo u-11A no-11B khona MC eJohannesburg. Ngeyi-16 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi u-13:22 ama-seconds awu-56, ila kwakhishwa khona-ke imali istolo 104 kuyofica-ke ku-106 level 100 khona eJohannesburg. Ngeyi-16 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi u-13:45 nama-seconds awu-18, ila khona-ke noma-ke kwathengwa-ke khona-ke kubhalwe TRW, ukuthi-ke mangaphazamike u-3 West, kodwa kubhalwe u-TRW 174, kwase kubhalwa CPT WZA. Bese kuthi ngeyi-16 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi u-13:54 nama-seconds awu-58, kwathengwa-ke nalapho eSpeeds eCarlton Center eJohannesburg. Ngeyi-16 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi u-14:03 ama-seconds awu-51, kwathengwa-ke nalapho eStudio 88 eCarlton Center eJohannesburg. Kwase kuthi ngeyi-16 kuJuly kuyena-ke u-2015, isikhathi u-14:03 nama-seconds awu-51, kwathengwa-ke nalapho. Okay, le ngiqeda uyisho manje. Bese kuthi ngeyi-16 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi 15:54 nama-seconds awu-54, nalapho kwathengwa-ke e-Overland Liquors eFoslo eJohannesburg. Bese kuthi ngeyi-17 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi u-10:58 nama-seconds awu-6, kwakhishwa imali khona-ke ekhona Jack and Victoria Street eJermiston. Bese kuthi ngeyi-17 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi 11:07 nama-seconds awu-45, kwathengwa-ke khona Studio 88 eJermiston eJohannesburg. Bese kuthi ngeyi-19 kuJuly 2015, isikhathi 11:10 nama-seconds awu-27, kwakhishwa-ke imali e-Absa Johannesburg Central ePrinsloo eJohannesburg. Ngeyi-20 July 2015, isikhathi 18:20 ama-seconds awu-40, kwakhishwa khona-ke imali istolo 11A no-11B eNaledi eFosloras. Bese kuthi ngeyi-21 July 2015, isikhathi 11 ama-seconds awu-46, kwakhishwa-ke imali istolo 11A no-11B eNaledi eFosloras. Bese kuthi ngeyi-22 July 2015, isikhathi 16:23 ama-seconds awu-4, kwakhishwa khona-ke imali DNR Fosloras eNaledi eFosloras. Bese kuthi ngeyi-28 July 2015, isikhathi 14:52 ama-seconds awu-14, kwakhishwa-ke imali istolo 11A no-11B eNaledi eJohannesburg. Bese kuthi ngeyi-31 July 2015, isikhathi 8:04:23, kwakhishwa khona-ke imali ibhaliwe-ke ukuthi-ke imali-ke yayingenele, okusho ukuthi-ke ayizange-ke imali iphumeke, kodwa kwabhalwa-ke ekhona Brookfield neBie eJohannesburg. bese kuthi nge-31 July 2015 isikhathi 8:05:13 wakhishwa imali futhi ke nalapho imali ayizange itholakale khona ekhona Brickfield neBA eJohannesburg nge-31 July 2015 8:05:58 nalapho kwakhishwa ke imali ekhona Brickfield and BA eJohannesburg.
Thank you. Can we then just revisit one aspect regarding your evidence? You mentioned that there were several factors that inform you that they were intruders in this matter.
Correct, my lord.
There were people who intruded in the house at 13511 Kutwanong section.
That is correct.
Kutwanong Street in Mzamo section.
That is correct, my lord.
Ushilo ukuthi kunezinto ke ithize ke ezakubangela ukuthi ufinyeleleke ekuthini ke ngempela ke kunabantu abangena noma ababengenile ke kuya music e13511 eKutwanong Street Mzamo section ephosphorus yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
You also mentioned the evidence of Constable Mthethwa as well as Constable Matebula.
That is correct, my lord.
Ukhulumile ke ngabo ubufakazi bakhe uConstable Mthethwa kanye naye uConstable Matebula yebo kuyiqiniso.
And in particular as to what they were informed upon arrival at the scene.
Yes, indeed, my lord.
Futhi ke mayelana naloko abakutshelwa uma ngabe befika kuyona indawo yesigameko yebo kuyiqiniso.
I just wish to refer you to the evidence of Constable Mthethwa given on the 15th of August 2023, page 2 thereof. If you can place on record the testimony starting from line 19. As well as page 103, lines 21 to 24, and up to page 104.
Kala ke ufundeke lana ubufakazi bakhe ke umthethwa ke bange 15 ku August 2023.
The highlighted portions.
Indeed, my lord. The highlighted portion for the date of the 15th of August 2023 reads as follows, my lord. Under Mr. Mthethwa, we then received a complaint via radio control that there was a shooting in progress at Muzamo. Then, Mr. Baloyi, what time did the complaint came through? Mr. Mthethwa, 7 minutes to 9. Then the next page, my lord, the highlighted portion, Mr. Mthethwa, just as we stopped, opened the window, my lord, because she was waving. She was, let me just check something, my lord, I want to confirm something. Okay, yes, my lord. So it proceeds just as we stopped, opened the window, my lord, because she was waving, stopping the van, and then she pointed that they ran towards this direction, and we turned around, my lord, and we just around it, and we came back. Then the court asked, my lord, they ran towards this direction, and she pointed on what the general consensus that there is a park. Mr. Mthethwa, my lord, says towards the park. Then the court, and then did you proceed towards the park? Mr. Mthethwa, yes, my lord. Then Mr. Mthethwa also, okay, and then the court says, right, and what did you do there? Mr. Mthethwa, the lights were on, my lord, but we also applied our lights with the other lights, with the hope that maybe we might see someone running. Yes, that is the
Thank you.
last
Thank you.
highlighted portion, my lord.
Lana ke ubufakazi bukamthetho ke abufundayo ke brigadier buhamba ngalendlela ke sase sithola ke umbiko ke ngayo iradio ukuthi ke kwakunodubulo okwakwenzeka ke emzamo wabuza ke umshushisi kwakungabani isikhathi kwathi nje imizuzu ke u7 ngaphambi kuka9 nokuthi kushaye u9 uyaqhubeka ke umthetho sathi ke uma sima ke sivula ke ifasitela noma ke iwindow wabeke etshengisa ke ngesandla sakhe ke ukuthi ke emisa ke yona imoto yamaphoyisa noma ke ivan wase ekhomba ke ukuthi bagijime baya ngale esikhombisa ke ngakwi wase eshoka ukuthi bajika futhi sase nathi ke siyahamba ke lapho eshoke ukuthi ke noma inkantolo eseshoke manje babaleka ke baya ngakulolu hlangothi yena ke ekhomba esho futhi ukuthi kwakuyipark leyo umthethwa yebo babaleka ke baya ngase park ingabe ke sekubuza inkantolo ke manje ingabe nani ke naya ke ngase park yebo kosenkantolo saya kwakukhanya ke lapho nathi ke sakhanyisa ke ngezethu ke ibane ukubhekana ukuthi akekho yini esingambona ebaleka noma egijima.
Thank you. You also refer to the evidence of Constable Matebula.
Correct, my lord.
Ukhulumile nangobufakazi bakhe uma uConstable Matebula yebo kuyiqiniso.
We're going to show you portions of his evidence given on the 16th of August 2023, page 26, from line 20 up to line 24, as well as page 27, line 2 to 4, and on the same page 27, line 19 up to 23. If you can just place that on record.
Yes, indeed, my lord. So the date is 16th of June, 2013, my lord, and the highlighted portions reads as follows under Mr. Matebula.
16 August. Sorry.
Is it August? Yes.
Yes, sorry.
16 August 2020. My apologies, my lord. The highlighted portion for Mr. Matebula reads as follows, my lord. At 20:53, we are at the police station detaining. Whilst at the police station, we received a complaint via radio control, which was a shooting in progress in number 13511 Kutwanong Street, Mzamo, Phosphorus. And the next page, my lord, with the same date of 16 August 2023, Mr. Mtetwa, when the complaint came through, we stopped everything and we rushed to that shooting in progress. Mr. Mtetwa further says, when we got to that street, we saw people standing outside. Mr. Mtetwa again, a certain lady with just a body, but she is a lady, waved to us and pointed to a particular direction. Yes, those are the two highlighted portions.
Lana ke ubufakazi bakhe ke uConstable uMatebula bange 16 August 2023 kwathi ke isikhathi imizuzu ngo2053 imizuzu ke u7 ngaphambi kokuthi ke kushaye ke u9 sasise police station sivalela ke sathi ke sise lapho epolice station sathola ke umbiko ngayo ke iradio control ukuthi ke kwakudutshulwa ke number 13511 Kutwanong Street eMzamo ePhosphorus. Uma ke lo mbiko loyo ufika ke sayeka konke ke esasikwenza sase siphuthuma khona lapho ke ekwaku nokudubulo kwakwenzeka khona ke Mr. Matebula uma ngabe sifika ke kuleso strato leso sabona ke abantu bemi ngaphandle kwakunomama othize ke wayenomzimba nje kodwa ke kuumuntu wesifazane yena ke wasikhombisa ke ukuthi ke bagijima ke baya ngakuhlangothi olthize.
Thank you. Now, what is your comment?
My Lord, it confirms what I've said earlier, that as I was trying to, right at the beginning, when I was trying to establish as to whether there were intruders or none at the preliminary stage of the analysis of this docket, this is one of the aspects that I looked at, and that is the first responding officers being informed that there was a shooting in progress, and the suspects, in his contained statement, ran towards that direction, which is basically the park. So for me, the fact that the first responders, police officers, were informed clearly that the people who were involved in that shooting ran to a certain direction. It's a clear indication that there were people who were involved and they ran to a certain direction and they were not found on that day, my lord.
Manje ke uthini ke wena ke kulokhu kweqeda ufunda la khulunywa lamaphoyisa amabili ke yena uConstable Mthetho kanye naye uConstable uMathebula nanjengoba besibengishilo kwaseqaleni kubufakazi bami ke ukuthi uma ngibheka ke idokotela leli kwaseqaleni ke okwami kwakuuqinisekisa noma ukuthola ukuthi babe khona yini abantu abangena kulo yamuzi noma cha lokhu ke ikona ke nako ke ekwangihola ke ngoba ke amaphoyisa oqala ukufika lapha yana athi uma ngabe fika atshelwa ukuthi yebo kunabantu futhi labantu bagijima noma babaleka baya ngakuhlangothi oluthize futhi lo hlangothi lolo ke kwaku ipark okushoyo ukuthi ke impela ke yebo babe khona ke abantu abangena kulo yamuzi.
And this, my lord, as I've said, is in addition to the neighbors, the witnesses who witness people running out of that house after the shooting. So taking that information, which was disposed in the form of a statement, I couldn't ignore the fact that the only inclination or direction is that indeed there were intruders, because this is independent from the people who were inside the house, who were then questionable at that stage that perhaps were they telling the truth or not. These are independent people. These are police officers who were in duty, who simply responded to the crime scene, my lord, and this is what they were informed. They documented what they were informed. They had no reason to mislead. And the neighbors and the people who also indicated that they saw people running to a certain direction, they were not part of the people who were inside the house. Those were simply eyewitnesses and neighbors who simply indicated what they observed, my lord.
Futhi ke lokho kuhambelana ke naloko okwakhulunywa ke noma okwashiwo ibona ke omakhelwane ke nabo abasho ke ukuthi yebo impela babona ke abantu begijima ke beya ngakuhlangothi ke oluthize futhi ke labantu akungasiyona ingxenye yalabo ababephakathi ke endlini ke bona ke ngaleso sikhathi ke ekwakungekho isiqiniseko nokuthi bakhuluma iqiniso noma cha kodwa ke lana sithola abantu abawomakhelwane bayasho ukuthi ngempela kunabantu abagijima baya ngakuhlangothi sinamaphoyisa amabili afika ke khona lapho nawo atshelwa ukuthi cha kunabantu abaphumileke endlini bagijima baya ngakuhlangothi oluthize.
Thank you. Now, Brigadier, if we can now deal with accused number 2.
Sorry, before you start, I'm sorry. You said neighbors. There was a neighbor you said in the evidence. They say that neighbor passed away. It's Mr.
Ngasha. Yes, yeah, the senior.
The senior. Was he a policeman or what?
He was a warrant officer, was a police officer, yes, and then he retired warrant officer, yes. He disposed an affidavit and also the same indication was given, my lord.
Yebo ke kunalo baba ke owashona ke uNcatshe owayeyiphoyisa ke noma owayeyi warrant officer ke ngaphambilini naye une statement ayesenzile ke esho khona lokho.
And my lord, further one can say that in dissecting this, because at that stage it was almost like a fact-finding mission for me, because you see with this matter there are sort of two, you have obviously what is contained in the docket, but there seems to be this theory or assertion or allegations, if I can put it that way, that there were no intruders. One needed to dissect what was contained in the docket factually. Not on allegations or theories, on hearsay, on the facts that were contained in the docket. And the facts contained in the docket, my lord, indicate what I've informed the court, that there were independent witnesses other than the people who were in the house who saw people running out of that house. No one could say that the people who ran out of the house were actually the same people who were in the house. They ran, a description is given by the neighbors who were outside. That description, particularly of one of the shooters with the dreadlocks, is also given by the people who were inside the house. So there you find a common factor that there was a person described with a firearm inside the house with dreadlocks. The neighbors particularly the lady that was sitting outside, I recall that saying she saw when they were running away that one of the suspects had dreadlocks. Now, you have to take that objectively, my lord, not in terms of hearsay, objectively. In addition to that, my lord, I've said objective evidence, which is DNA, that was found at the crime scene, excluded everyone that was in the house. What it indicated is that that DNA was left by someone else other than the person who were in the house, the persons who were inside the house. That DNA was obviously at a later stage, my lord, when these accused were actually now targeted. Their DNA were taken for comparison. I suppose when we get to that stage, I will deal with it, my lord, because as much as certain findings were made by the specialist, but they were pointers by the specialist to say there are common things that you can find on these people. And for me as an investigator, it was good enough that even if it's 1 or 2% of the DNA, for example, pointing accused number 3, it is enough for me to convince me that he was there as an investigator.
Objection. That is not his terrain. It is exclusively not his terrain. He's repeating the very same thing that I cautioned about. Mr. Kininda is not here as an expert, my lord. He's here as a police officer. He only needs to bring information to the court, the basis on which this court then will have to make a decision. He is not here to analyze that information as though he's the one that is going ultimately to give a judgment. He's pretty wrong, and the state is allowing to do that. I don't know if the state is doing that with a view in order to influence the mind of the court. But I'm very grateful because the court said earlier on that the court is well trained and it is experienced enough to separate the wheat from the chaff. What Mr. Kininda is doing now is only trying to influence the mind of the court with a hell lot of a chaff. What is stating now is a chaff. It's nonsensical. It should not be done, my lord. And I'm going to request the state to tell its witness to refrain from what the state's witness is doing, my lord. Because it's not here as an expert, and we're not interested in his opinion. His opinion matters not. Ultimately, it is going to be the duty of the state, on the basis of the evidence that Mr. Kininda would have submitted to this court, to argue what he is now trying to argue. Otherwise, Mr. Baloyi needs to get into the box and Mr. Kininda come into the point where Mr. Baloyi is standing. They need to swap positions. But what he's doing now is pretty nonsensical, my lord.
Okay, yes, let's hear the state. What's the state's
As a good please, my lord, I think very fresh on the article that the court referred to about courtesy in court, one would have expected Advocate Nisi to refrain from using words such as nonsensical, no matter how strongly he might object to the evidence. I think there's still a duty to show courtesy to the witness and the court. That is the first thing. The second thing is the court had asked this witness a question in elucidation, and the witness was in the process of answering the question that was posed by the court. And thirdly, as Advocate Nisi pointed out, that the court has mentioned that it's trained to separate evidence from opinion evidence.
Usingeneke kulodaba ke ukuthi ke ufakazi besaphendula ke umbuzo inkantolo ubuzile esho ke ukuthi ke kwakunezinkulumo ke eyayikhona ke lana futhi ke kukhona ke nale information eyayikhona ke kwidokodo okwami ke kwakuukuthi ke manje ke ngithole ke ekuyikona kodwa ke ngingalandeli izinsolo ezikhona noma izinkulumo ezikhona ke ukuthi cha abekho abantu ababengenile lapha yana kodwa ke ngibheke lokhu okukhona ke kwidokodo bese ke manje ke ngibheke nalokho ukuthi cha akunabantu ke ababengenile manje ke unabantu ababesendlini ke abashoyo ukuthi omunye wabantu ababephakathi ke endlini wayenama dreadlocks ekwakuyena ke owayephethe isibhamu ube nabo omakhelwane abathi ke kulabo abantu abababona ke bephuma endlini ke ukuthi ke noma sebegijima ke noma bebaleka beya kuhlangothi oluthize omunye wabo wayenama dreadlocks aqhubekeke futhi esebenziseke ukuthi kwakufanele manje ngibhekeke ukuthi ke manje kuloko okhunywa yilabantu ke kuyinhlangothi ezahlukene uthi ke kwabe kusekhona nalobufakazi ke bolibefuzo noma ke phecelezi ke iDNA wabe esenza ke ekhuluma ke ngaye umsolo wakhe wesithathu ekula ummeli wakho asukume khona ke ethi asithi ke mhlambe bekukhona ke okwatholakala lapha yana kuDNA leyo noma ke u2% kumina noma u1% kodwa nje okusho ukuthi yebo ke wayekhona ke wabe esesho ukuthi asithi ke mhlambe umsolo wakhe wesithathu ekula ummeli ke asukume khona ke ukuthi nje lokho loyo 2% kumina ke wawaneleke ukuthi ngisho ukuthi yebo impela wayekhona lapho.
Thank you. The state will request that those gratuitous and unbridled insults by Advocate Mnisi regarding the witness be ignored, my lord.
It is no insult, my lord. The word nonsensical is there in the dictionary. If Mr. Baloyi is not aware of it, I can refer him to that word. And the definition of that word simply means that it makes no sense. It is nonsensical. I don't know how insulting that word is, man. And I heard him mentioning that there's an article on a Sunday that he read regarding court ethics and stuff like that. That starts with him. He knows what a duty of a witness who is an investigating officer is when that witness is giving his evidence. It is Mr. Baloyi's duty, first and foremost, as a leader of that witness, to lead that witness specifically on what that witness should come and tell this court, not to allow that witness to be on an escapade and wantonly come and give evidence that it is not in his terrain to come and give. Mr. Baloyi has been allowing Mr. Kininda to give opinion evidence. Mr. Baloyi has allowed this witness on a number of occasions to come up with suggestion that the evidence that is already before court demonstrated that accused number 3 was involved in this matter. He now mentions DNA. Previously, he also mentioned a firearm. It consistently allows this witness, my lord, to go on an escapade on evidence that it's, at this stage it is inadmissible. It's basically giving this witness a role that he himself should actually be playing. For instance, the court has simply asked a question about Mr. Ngache, whether or not he was still alive or what. This witness now goes out of the rail. It goes out of the question that the court has specifically asked, and Mr. Baloyi allows that to happen. And then he stands up and says there's an article that has been written by the honorable judges of this court on how ethics is. I am not here, my lord, representing myself. I am here to represent the interest of accused number 3. And I cannot allow witness such as evidence such as the one that is coming from Mr. Kininda to go through the record and miss it down here. I'll never allow that, my lord. Otherwise, I'll be doing injustice in the representation of Mr. Mngube here. But first and foremost, it starts with Mr. Baloyi himself. Okay. Thank you, my lord.
To save time, my lord, we'll then proceed. I've already mentioned that the witness was commenting on the question that was asked by the court. We had already moved to the situation of accused number 2 when the court asked this witness to comment on something. We cannot interrupt the witness when he answers to a question that was answered by the court and to which the court is entitled to ask. That is the simple fact of the matter. And as we pointed out, my lord, we don't understand the objection that was raised by Advocate Mnisi, as the court pleases.
I will make declarations and conclusions regarding the evidence tendered in this court, whether that evidence proves or disproves anything. And I'll quote the reasons why, if I agree or disagree with that evidence. Okay.
Thank you,
Mina ke uzothatha ke isinqumo ke ukuthi ke ubufakazi obethulwayo ke lobo bufakazi buvumelekile noma cha ngizosho futhi ke nangokomthetho ukuthi umthetho uthini mayela nalokho.
As the court pleases, my lord, or I agree with the court on that it is the duty of the court to analyze the evidence, my lord, at the end of the case. However, my lord, I'm also standing on the point of objection so that it will go on record that it was pointed out, my lord, during the trial stage, that the way that the evidence is elicited at this point in time is not the correct procedure, my lord. Especially, my lord, the reference that has been made by the witness to the ngqashe senior witness, my lord. That statement was never handed in this court. There was no application for the handing over of that statement as hearsay statement. So in other words, my lord, it is not proper before this court. And the witness has made reference to the content of that evidence.
No. Where do I get the evidence? I got the evidence here.
Yes, my lord.
When I came to know that there's a neighbor who has made a statement, who actually also had a commotion, and there's another neighbor also who saw the deceased with his back in a white skipper or sweater,
Yes.
in the kitchen and had commotions. Somebody jumped into the yard and ran outside again. But the evidence of being a policeman who was there, I heard it from here. Am I right or wrong? I mean,
Yes.
how would I know otherwise?
For the one for the police, my lord, I don't have objections because those police testified.
No, Ntetwa and that gentleman, I don't have a problem.
Yes, my
I
lord.
mean ngqashe.
Ngqashe,
Because
yes,
I wanted
my
to
lord.
know where ngqashe is.
Yes.
And I was told that he's deceased.
ngqashe is deceased, my lord, and his statement was never submitted to this court as evidence, my lord. And therefore, no reference should be made to that statement or can be made to that statement, my lord.
When you say no reference should be made to that statement, no reference should also not be made to the evidence of the son of ngqashe. What's his name, by the way? Kaya. Kaya said, I was with my father. You remember that evidence?
My lord, the son is alive. The son has testified.
You don't know what I'm getting to, you see.
Oh, sorry, my lord.
The son also spoke about the father having seen whatever.
Yes.
That's all. And then the
Yes.
father is dead.
Yes, then let's correct the record, my lord. If we are making reference to the evidence of the ngqashe's son, then it must be directed to that portion of evidence that ngqashe's son said 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
But a reference being made to the statement made by senior who passed away and his statement has not been submitted as evidence. My lord, I'm raising an objection
Okay,
on that
fine.
point only.
Fine, okay.
Yes, my
Let's
lord.
go on.
And then also, secondly, on the issue of this witness giving analysis or making reference to the expert evidence, my lord, which is the forensic evidence which was led in this court, who is now saying, out of that expert evidence, I can be able to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He's not an expert, my lord. He's not allowed to make any reference and to analyze on that part of evidence. He's just a police officer, this one. As the court pleases, my lord.
All right, yes, Mr.
As a court, please, we really don't, the neighbors that the brigadier is referring to have already testified, Ms. Nthabise Mokete as well as Ms. Kaya ngqashe. The evidence is already on record. As far as the analysis is concerned, the witness is merely saying that those are, the expert has already testified. The DNA analyst has already testified. The witness is merely giving a summation of the reason why he was persuaded that there were no, that there were intruders. That's the simple fact
Okay.
of the matter. But as we mentioned, my lord, we were busy commencing with the evidence pertaining to accused number 2.
Sizodlula ke manje lapho sizoqala ke ngobufakazi ke mayelana naye ke umsolwa wesibili.
Right. Now, Brigadier Gininda, you've already confirmed your testimony in the trial within a trial, in which you also testified about the circumstances under which accused number 2 was arrested.
That is correct, my lord. But if the court can give indulgence, my lord, I just want to say, and I'll request the court, perhaps, my lord, to assist in that what was said by Advocate Mnisi, because that's exactly how I'm viewing it. It is insulting. For him, the word nonsensical or nonsense may mean something else if interprets it. But I think the context of how it's said may give a different meaning. I feel it's insulting and disrespectful. I don't think I've done anything contrary to being respectful to Advocate Mnisi ever since we started to deserve that. And I just want to request that we maintain the decorum of the court. We may differ with what I say. He will have the opportunity when he cross-examine me as to why I said that, why did I base those expertise, and challenge me on it, my lord. And the court will then make a ruling. I was simply making my observation, not testifying as an expert, to say these were the pointers that convinced me that they were intruders. Not that I was saying, my lord, the expert or whoever did the work were wrong or right. I was simply saying, after the matter was given to me, I had to analyze and make a decision as to whether indeed there were no intruders or were there intruders. And if there were no intruders, my lord, I would have given the same evidence to say, this is what I have, this is what the DNA is saying, and based on that, I was then convinced that there were no intruders. But in this instance, I'm simply pointing things that convinced me that there were intruders. Not that I'm reinterpreting or testifying on behalf of the expert. It's simply that, my lord. But the mere point of my statement, my lord, is just to request that we treat each other with respect. That's all, my lord. The difference is, I know we will bump head with my colleagues because we're on the opposite sides. But at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. It's in the interest of justice and to help this cause to come to a just conclusion, but not to treat each other with disrespect. That's all I need to ask, my lord.
Engizocela ke ukuthi ke mhlambe ingaba iyona ke inkantolo engangilekelela ke noma ke ukuthi ke kwenzeke ke lokho ukuthi ke ngiceleke ukuthi ke kube khona ke inhlonipho ngoba ngendlela ke akhulume ngayo ke umnumzana ke umnisi ke ngegama ke lelo albizile nonsensical ke mhlambe yena ke angalihumusha ke ngendlela ethize kodwa mina ke ngikuhumusha ngendlela ethize kodwa kumina ke kubonakalisa nje ukuthi ke ungabi khona kwayo ke inhlonipho akukho ke sengikwenzile kuzofinyelela khona manje okungathi ke kuholele kuthini ke mina ngimhloniphile noma angenza ke lokho mina ebengikwenza bengingaphikisani nobufakazi bakhe ke ungoti mayelana ke nolibofuzo noma ke iDNA bengichaza noma ngiveza nje ke izinto ke ezibe khona ezibe inkomba kumina ukusho ukuthi yebo babe khona abantu abangena kuleya muzi noma kule yandlu noma ke bekuukuthi babengekho ke bengizonikeza ke ubufakazi obufanayo ngithi yebo ke ngenxa yalokhu ke ngithola ke ukuthi cha abekho ke abantu ababengenile kuloya muzi ukucela nje ukuthi ke nje kube khona ke nje indlela yokuhloniphana la enkantolo.
Okay, enough said. Can we adjourn for tea? I'm told it's 20 past.
Oh, okay, it's a good place.
Okay. Yes, sir.
As you could please, my lord, we were busy with accused number 2, Brigadier Gininda. You have already confirmed your testimony in the trial within the trial, in which you also testified about the circumstances under which accused number 2 was arrested. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Kuse ngaphambilini ke ubufakazi bakho uqinisekisile ke washo ke futhi nokuthi kwenzeka kanjani ke ukuthi ke aboshwe umsola wesibili yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
Now it's on record and it's common cause that there are 2 exhibits that pertains to the statements that are associated with accused number 2. The first one is exhibit HH.
Correct, my lord.
It's a statement that was made before Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ke sesiyazi ke ukuthi kunezitatimende ezimbili ezihlanganiswa naye ke umsolo wesibili esokuqala ke izibithi uHH awasenza ke noma istatement awasenza phambi kwakhe uKenneth Rapatu yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
Can you once again place on record the date on which this statement was made to Lieutenant Colonel M.S. Rapadu, Exhibit HH?
Yes, my lord. It was 2020, June 19. The starting time was 06:50.
Kwakunge 19 kuJune 2020 isikhathi sokuqala ke kwaku 6:50.
It's also common cause, and it's already in record that there is a second statement, Exhibit JJ,
Correct, my
that
lord.
was made before Magistrate V. Cronje, that is associated with accused number 2.
That is correct, my lord. Also.
Kuyiqiniso ke nokuthi ke sikhona ke nesesibili istatement uJJ yena sona ke esenziwa ngaphambi kwayo ke imantshi uV Cronje yebo kuyiqiniso.
Can you once again just place on record the date on which this Exhibit JJ was made?
Yes, my lord. It was the 24th of June 2020 with a starting time of 14:30.
Kwakunge 24 zika June 2020 isikhathi sokuqala kwaku 14:30.
Yes. Now, regarding the making of these two statements, a version was proffered by Mr. Mgomezulu on behalf of accused number 2, as per the proceedings of the 25th of October 2023, page 71, starting from line 11. Do you have a copy of the record?
Yes, I do, my lord. But I just want to put the end times in these two exhibits because I only refer to the starting time and not the end time according to this document.
Yes.
So with regard to exhibit HH, where the starting time is 06:50, the ending time is 11:47.
Mayelana nenkathi ke lana ngisho nje isikhathi ke ekwaqalwa ngaso asiqale ke ngolesi ke soqala ke ukuthi ke kwaqalwa ke ngo6:50 noma ke imizuzu ke eyishumi ngaphambi kokuthi kushaye ke u7 bese ke isikhathi so qedwa ke kwaso ke 11:47.
Yes. And then with regard to exhibit JJ, my lord, the starting time, which is 14:30, the end time is 17:20
Lana ke ku
of the same day.
ku JJ ke baqala ke ngo14:30 base begcina ke ngo17:20.
Yes, my lord, we can then proceed.
Thank you. If you can just place on record the version that was proffered on behalf of accused number 2 regarding the statement to Lieutenant Colonel M.S. Rapadu, Exhibit HH, as per the record of the 25th of October 2023, page 71, line 11.
Yes, my lord, it reads as follows, Mr. Mgomezulu. Rapado, that is correct, my lord, and further that the confession was not written by himself. Court by whom? Mr. Mgomezulu, it was written, there's intervention, my lord. Then the court asked, it was written by Rapado. Mr. Mgomezulu, it was brought. Court, yes. And then Mr. Mgomezulu, the statement was already written, so he was ordered to sign the statement, so it is my instruction that it was not made freely and voluntarily.
Lana ke kufunda ke okwashiwa uyena ke uMr Mgomezulu mayelana ke nestatement lesi ke athi senziwa ke uyena ke umsolo wesibili kuyena uKenneth Rapatu lana ke uthi ke uMr Mgomezulu Rapatu yebo ukuthi ke istatement lesi sasingabhaliwe uyena inkantolo yasibuza ke ubani uMr Mgomezulu waphendula ke sabhalwa kodwa ke akaqeda sabhalwa uRapatu kusho ke inkantolo Mr Mngomezulu salethwa Mr Mngomezulu aqhubeke futhi istatement sase sibhaliwe yena ke base bemtshela nje ukuthi kasayindeke manje ke ngiyatshelwa ke ukuthi uma ekwenza ke lokho akazange akwenze ngokuthanda noma ngokuphuma kuye futhi ekhululekile.
Yes, we further wish to refer you to the proceedings of the 26th of October 2023, page 20, from line 18, if you can.
Yes. Have it. No.
If you can just put
Yes, my lord. So it reads as follows,
the relevant portions on record.
Yes, we'll do so, my lord. It reads as follows, Mr. Mngomezulu. He will deny the fact that he ever made this statement. Neither was the statement read back to him. He never made such a statement. The statement came with Brigadier Gininda and he was ordered to sign that statement.
Okay.
Usho noma washo ngalendlela ke yena ke baba Mngomezulu uzokuphika ke ukuthi yena ke wenza istatement nokuthi futhi istatement leso wasifundelwa uma ngabe sesiqediwe ke akakaze asenze istatement esinjalo futhi istatement leso seza naye uBrigadier Gininda wabe setshelwa ukuthi akasayinde.
Just to contextualize the record, that was with reference to accused number 2.
Yes, my lord.
Lokho ke kwakushiwo ke mayelana naye ke umsolwa wesibili.
So, in essence, Brigadier Gininda, this version is to the effect that you came with this statement, Exhibit JJ. It was already written.
No, but that's not true, my lord. I
Yes.
think I dealt with it in during the trial within trial. I was not
Thank
there
you.
when the evidence speaks for itself. When the confession was taken, I was not with him. I only met accused 2 that night in the evening at Bukeng. That was the first time I met him. So during the taking of the confession, his movement from point A to point B in court, I did not interact with him. So that is not true.
Akusilona ke iqiniso ukuthi mina ke ngaletha ke istatement lesi sesibhaliwe ke ngalelo langa lelo ke ngicabanga ukuthi nobufakazi ke beyikhulumela ngangingekho ke mina lapho angizange ngihlanganeke naye uma esuka endaweni ethize eya kwindawo ethize. Mina uma ngihlangana naye ngalelo langa okokuqala ngahlangana naye ke kusesebusuku ke ngalelo langa ePhukeng.
And just furthermore, on this aspect, on the 26th of October 2023, page 17, line 22 to 25, Mr. Mngomezulu made a certain proposition. Can you just put that on record?
So it reads as follows, Mr. Mngomezulu. Brigadier Gininda with Miss Mukula arrived with a white BMW and there was also an escort at that time.
Lokhu ke kwange namba ubufakazi lo bange 26 October 2023 page 17 uline 22 ubaba Mngomezulu uthi ke uBrigadier Gininda kanye no Miss Mukula bafika ke behamba ngeBMW emhlophe futhi ke babephelekezelwa noma phela icelezi ke lokho kuthiwa iescort ngaleso sikhathi leso.
Yes. The rest of the proposition was that you sat in the boot of this BMW and you produced this statement that was already written.
No, but that's not true, my lord. As I said earlier, one, the BMW in question was not being used by Sergeant Mukula. That's the first part. The second part, my lord, my recollection on the 19th of June, Sergeant Mukula took accused number 1 to court. I think I also dealt with the court appearances in Tembisa insofar as the drug dealing case is concerned. So while the confession of accused number 2 was taking place with Lieutenant Colonel Rapado, Sergeant Mukula booked out accused number 1. I mean, we dealt with the OB entries, her booking him out to court and back to court. So that proposition is not true. I was not there, my lord.
Iyaqhubeka ke inkulumo ithi futhi ke kuleyo BMW emhlophe ke wena ke wawuhlezi ebhuti yayo ke inkathi ke ukhipha lesi statement akusilona ke iqiniso lelo okoqala angisho nje ukuthi le BMW ekhulunywa ngayo ke yayingasetshenziswa uyena uSergeant Mkhula ngaleso sikhathi futhi ke ngazo i19 lezo ke bese ngishilo ngaphambilini futhi ukuthi ngale nkathi ke kuthathwa ke istatement lesi uKenneth Raphathu sakhe umsolo wesibili uSergeant Mkhula yena ke wahamba wayokhipha umsolo wokuqala eStockton noma la ayegcinwe khona ke emhambisa ethembisa la akufanele ayobingelela khona imantshi mayelana ke necala leyidakamizwa ukusho ukuthi ke lokho ke akusilona ke iqiniso.
In this regard, we wish to refer you to the proceedings of the 26th of October 2023 from line 3 up to line 13. Can you just put the...
Yes, my lord, but furthermore to this proposition of a statement, I do recall that the place, and that is now when I was dealing with the trial within trial, that the place that was alleged have actually arrived is not shown by the EVL of the vehicle, because on that specific day, accused 2 was being transported by Sergeant Mohane using the Toyota Fortuner. We dealt with the AVL records in the spot where they said accused 2 was. That Toyota Fortuner was never there, my lord.
Okunye futhi ke engakushongo ke ukuthi ke indawo ke le ekhulunywa ngayo ekuthiwa ke ila engaya khona noma ke ekwakukhona ke noma imoto yayakhona ke uma kubhekwa ke yona ke uwona umbiko weAVL awusho ke umbiko ukuthi leyo moto leyo ke yaya ke kuleyo ndawo futhi ke ngalelo langa lelo ke umsolo wesibili umuntu owayehamba naye ke wayemshayelela imoto kwakuyena uSergeant Mohane futhi ke emhambisa ngayo iToyota Fortuner.
Right, my lord. This highlighted portion reads as follows, Mr. Mngomezulu. Then Brigadier Keninda opened the boot of the BMW, the white BMW, and sat on the edge with the boot of the open boot. Next part, Mr. Mngomezulu. Everyone was outside their motor vehicles, and then Brigadier Keninda took out documents and gave them to you. Furthermore, Mr. Mngomezulu, the instruction from Brigadier Keninda was to the accused was that if you do not sign this document, the assault will carry on.
Iyaqhubeka ke kufundeka ngalendlela ke khuluma yena ke uMr Mngomezulu wabese ke uBrigadier Keninda esevula ke iboot yayo ke iBMW le iBMW emhlophe wahlala ke kuyona ke iboot leyo eyayivuliwe wonke umuntu wayengaphandle kuyimoto zabo wase uBrigadier Keninda ekhupha ke amaphepha ke lawo wawanikeza kuwena futhi ke awakusho uBrigadier Keninda ukuthi ke umsolo uma kuukuthi ke akasayindi lawo maphepha lawo bazoqhubeka ke bemshaya.
Thank you. Now, was Lieutenant Colonel Raphathu part of the investigating team?
No, my lord, he was not, and he was also not known to me. As I indicated when I spoke to him on the phone, because I had to try a number of police officers that day. I know I struggled, but eventually when I was able to find him, it was the first time we spoke as police officers. And when I went to collect the statement, I think a day or 2 after, it was also the first time I actually came face to face with him. I've never known him. I've not done any matters with him prior. No, we ever met, even in meetings, my lord. And up to date, as I'm sitting here, the only encounter I had with him was in relation to this matter, and that's all.
Ngabe uKenneth Raphathu wayingxenye yini yethimba eliphenyayo cha ngangakaze ke ngihlanganeke naye ke nangalelo langa lelo futhi ke ngangiqala ukuthi ngikhulume naye ke ngoba ke ngazama amaphoyisa amaningi ke ngaphambi kokuthi ngibese ngikhuluma naye ke futhi ke noma sengiyolanda ke istatement leso emuva ke kwelanga elilodwa noma ke amabili ngangiqala ukuthi ke ngihlangana ke naye ke noma sihlangana ubuso ngobuso futhi ke lelo ke ilanga ke asikaze sihlangane noma kwimihlangano futhi ke uma kwakugcina ke uma ngabe sihlanganiswa ilona lelicala leli akusenaka umuntu engangimazi.
So in essence, my lord, he was not privy to the investigation. No, we ever discussed anything up to the time I met him to collect the confession.
okusho ukuthi ke noma ke engikushoyo ke ngalokho ukuthi ke akukho ayekwazi ke mayelana necala leli noma ke futhi uphenyo lalocala leli kwazi kwayisikhathi la khona sengiyohlangana naye ke ngiyolanda sona istatement.
Just finally on this aspect, we wish to refer you to the proceedings of the 26th of October 2023, page 30, line 3 to 4. Just put in record what Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu testified.
Yes, Mr. Rapadu, yes, I made it on the very same day, on the 19th. I handed over to Brigadier 2 days after.
Lana ke u Colonel Rapadu uthi yebo ke ngasenza ke ngalelo langa lelo futhi ke nge-19 ngase ngizidlulisela kuyena ke uBrigadier Kininda noma ke uBrigadier amalanga amabili emva kwalokho.
What is your comment?
It is in line with what I've said, my lord, to say after the confession was made by him, we made arrangements because he said he will keep it, I recalled it, and that I should come and collect it from him directly, which is what I did in his Enadale offices, because that's where he was stationed at the time, my lord.
Lokhu ke kuyahambisana ke naloko engiqeda ukusho ke manje ukuthi ke eseqedile ke ukuthi statement lesi asenze ke washo ke ukuthi uzogcina ke noma uzosibamba kuyena mina ke kuzofanele ngize ke ngizosilanda ila engaya khona ke kuma office akhe ase Enadale ila ayesebenzela khona.
Now, with this background that you've just sketched out in mind, when did you meet accused number 2 for the first time?
It was the 18th, my lord, in the afternoon at Carltonville.
Kwakunge-18 ke kwakusemini eCarltonville uma senqala ke ukuhlangana naye umsolwa wesibili.
Yeah, the 18th of
I beg your pardon, my lord. So it was the 18th of June 2020.
Kwakunge-18 ka June 2020.
And the reason thereof, my lord, was to follow his alibi. Sergeant Mohane was with him on other issues that he was following up, but insofar as this matter is concerned, it was the alibi as to where he was when this offense was committed.
Uma ngihlangana naye ke kwangazo i-18 ka June 2020 uma ngihlangana naye ke kwakuqinisekisa noma ke kuhamba ke kuyobheka lokho awayekusho ukuthi wayekuphi nendawo nkathi isigameko lesi senzeka ke ngoba ke uSergeant Mohane yena ke wayehamba naye ke kodwa ke behambela okunye.
Now, Brigadier Kininda is already on record, and it was put on record by Mr. Ramusipili that accused number 2 was arrested on the 16th of June 2020, that we see in the proceedings of 11 October 2023.
Yes, it's not in dispute, my lord. I was informed by Sergeant Mohane. I was not there when he was arrested, but I'm aware that him and Sergeant Mabena, they arrested him on the 16th of June 2020.
Yebo ke ngangingekho ke mina nkathi ke eboshwa umsolo wesibili ke kodwa ke ngatshelwa ke ukuthi ke ngazo i-16 zika June 2020 la ngakelela aboshwa ngalo uMohane kanye noMabena.
Yes, you can tell the court in your own words what happened on the 18th of June 2020 at Carltonville.
My lord, after I was introduced to him, I'll try to summarize without having to repeat what I've said previously, my lord. But in essence, I was introduced to accused 2, where I also introduced myself to him. I warned him according to his constitutional rights in terms of Section 35, or rather the Constitution of 1996 of this country, Section 35 in particular. And thereafter, my lord, I've put it to him that I have a reason to believe or to suspect that he was involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Now, what was prudent?
Just a minute,
right.
Just give the interpreter time.
Sengethuliwe ke kuyena ke nami ngingazethula ke kuyena ke umsolo wakhe wesibili ila khona ke engaye ngamazisa ke ngamalungelo akhe ke ngokomthetho sisekelo kwala eNingizimu Afrika futhi ngase ngimtshela ke ukuthi ke nginesizathu ke enginaso ke ukuthi noma ke insolo ikhona ukuthi ke wayekhona ke noma eyingxenye uma uSenzo Meyiwa ebulawa.
My lord, what was clear, he understood is the rights that I've given him, and he was willing to talk to me. But what was prudent in his response was that he was able to give me the date to specifically say he was on duty on the 26th of October 2014 when this matter happened. So he put it to me, which was something that I took note of, my lord.
Futhi ke okunye ke uma ke ngimtshela ke lokho ke wakuzwa ke lokho engangimtshela kona ke kodwa ke futhi okwaqhamileke kwakuukuthi ke uma ke ngimtshela noma ke ama dates lana ke yena ke wakusho ke kwacaca ukuthi yena ngalelo langa la nge26 zika October 2014 wayesemsebenzini.
He further mentioned the company which was not far from where we are, my lord, the Sibaya mine, as to the company that he was employed at during that time when this incident took place.
Washo ke nenkampani ke awayesebenza kuyona ke eyayingakudeke la esasikhona ke isibanye mine ukuthi yila ayesebenza khona ngaleso sikhathi leso.
Just a minute. Now, if you say he gave you the date of the 26th of October 2020, what do you mean?
The 26th of October 2014.
Sorry, 2014.
Yes.
Sorry. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying so I'm saying, my lord, he knew the date. That the essence that I'm trying to draw the court's attention is that I didn't say to accused number 2, this is the date of the offense. I simply mentioned the name, that I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He, in return, my lord, gave me the date to say on this date of the 26th of October 2014, I was at work. And then we followed that alibi. Obviously, information moved from there to say, where were you at work? He mentioned Sibaya mine. And then subsequently, then, my lord, that was
just
followed.
remember, just give the interpreter
My apologies, my
the
lord.
please.
Sometimes I get carried away, sorry.
Engikushoyo ngalokho ukuthi mina ngathi kuyena uma ngikhuluma naye umsola wesibili nezathu sokukholelwa ukuthi ke wawuyingxenye noma wawuyambandakanyeka ke ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa. Angizange ngisho noma ngisho lutho mayelana ke nelanga noma ke idate. Kwaba uyena ke kwaphuma kuyena ukuthi athi nge-26 ka-October 2014 mina ngangisemsebenzini. Ngase ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi manje kuphike wase eshoke ukuthi esibanye mine.
My lord, the essence, the outcome of that, like I said, I've dealt with it in the trial within trial, is that we met Mr. Mulder, who then disputed the claim that he was at work on that specific day. He was not on duty.
Okwenzeka ke ukuthi sase sihlangana ke no Mr Mulder emsebenzini ke la ayethu sebenza khona ke umsolo wesibili owayiphika ke noma ke owakuphikisa ke yena ukuthi ngalelo langa lelo langa 26 October 2014 umsolo wesibili wayekhona emsebenzini.
Mr. Mulder, my lord, also submitted a statement to this effect. I do recall that his statement was finalized on the 22nd of June 2020 because that was the date where accused 2 was appearing in Tabang for a matter, not this matter, for unrelated matter, my lord.
Futhi ke kune statement asenza ke yena ke uMr Mulder mayelana ke naloko futhi ke ngiyakhumbula ukuthi istatement sakhe saqedwa ke nge-22 zika June 2020 ngoba ke ngalelo langa lelo umsolo wakhe wesibili wayebingelela imantshi eThabane kodwa ke kungasilona leli icala.
Furthermore,
just before you proceed, you say Mr. Mulder mentioned that accused number 2 was on duty. How did he establish that?
So, my lord, we went in with accused 2 because he was there. So he took us inside. I walked in with him. Mr. Mulder was identified as the person in charge, for that section. And then thereafter, the details of accused number 2 were given to him, whereby it was confirmed that indeed, during that period of October 2014, he was employed by Sibaya Mine. But then Mr. Mulder was able to look at the dates in which he was on duty and not on duty. So the conclusion that he was not on duty on the 26th of October came as a result. I'll take it further.
No, finish.
Must I finish? All right. So how it came about, when he was looking at their clocking records, my lord, he was able to establish that on the 25th of October 2014, accused 2 reported on duty in the morning, went off, if I recall correctly, 2 hours just after he reported on duty, and he never returned until the 2nd or the 3rd of November 2014. So in essence, on the 26th, when this incident took place, he gave us a false alibi when he said he was on duty because he was not there, my lord.
Okwenzeka ke lana ukuthi ke sase singena ngaphakathi ke ngoba futhi ukwazi ke umshutshisi ukuthi wathola kanjani uMr Mulder ukuthi ke umsolo wesibili wayengekho emsebenzini ngalelo langa sangena ke naye ke umsolo wesibili ngoba ke sasihamba naye imininingwane yakhe yasinikezwa ke na ke uMr Mulder owakwazi ke ukuthi ke wasinikeza isiqiniseko sokuthi yebo ngoOctober ka2014 umsolo wesibili wayesebenza khona lapho wase ebheka ke manje lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke ama records ke okloka uma ungena noma uphuma emsebenzini washo ke ukuthi ugcina ukuba semsebenzini nge25 uklokile nge25 amahora amabili emuva kokuthi engenile emsebenzini wabe eseyahamba ke akabuyanga ke kwaze kwaba yi2 noma i3 zika November kuona lowo nyaka loyo okusho ukuthi ke lokho asitshele kona thina ke athi wayesemsebenzini ngazo i26 wayengasitshela iqiniso.
Just a minute. Just wish to refer you to the record of the 10th of October 2023, page 49, that encapsulates the evidence of Mr. Mulder.
Yes, my lord, I do have
And
it.
if you can read from line 8.
Yes, it reads as follows, Mr. My lord. Mr. Mulder, your lordship, then on the 25th of October 2014, that reflects that Mr. Ntanzi entered a work area access point at 5 minutes to 4 in the morning, and then the second access point 1 minute later at 4 minutes to 4 in the morning, and then proceed through the work clocking access at 3 minutes to 4 in that same morning.
Yes, then you can proceed to page 50, still on the 10th of October 2023.
Then Mr. Mulder says, then your lordship, the next clocking will be in the table again on the right side of page 2 under 25 October 2014, which indicates the outclocking. So according to this record, it indicates that Mr. Ntanzi clocked out from his workplace 1 minute past 6.
Okay.
Umfakazi ke bakhe ke uMr Mulder bufundeka ke ngalendlela ukuthi ke nge25 zika October 2014 kuyatshengisa ukuthi umnumzana uNtanzi wangena ke kwindawo yokusebenza bebizwa ngokuthi ke i-access point ngemizuzu ke emihlanu phambi kuka 4 ekseni wase futhi ke indawo yesibili ke yokusebenza noma ke ababizwa ngokuthi ke i-access point umzuzu owodwa ngaphambi kuka 4 ekseni njalo wase eyaqhubeka ke eya kwindawo ke yokukloka kumizuzu ke emithathu ngaphambi kuka 4 ngalelo langa lelo noma iyaqhubeka ke ukuthi ke uma esekloka ke futhi kuyabonakala ke lokho ke etafuleni ke kuhlangothi noma kwisandla sangakwesokudla ku page 2 ngaphansi kwange25 zika October 2014 la eshoyo ke ukuthi uma ngaba esephuma ke manje noma esekloka out ngokwalelo record ke liyachaza ke noma liyasho ukuthi umnumzana uNtanzi waphuma ke noma wakloka out ke kwindawo leyo yokusebenza umzuzu owodwa ngaphambi kokuthi kushaye u6.
Then page 51, line 16 to 18.
Line 16 of page 51 reads as follows, my lord. Mr. Mulder, that indicated that Mr. Ntanzi then had a work exit clocking or out clocking 1 minute past 6. Then further down, my lord, Mr. Mulder said the date on the record that I'm referring to is the 25th of October 2014, my lord. Then the prosecutor asked, so how long did he work on the 25th of October 2014 at the times that you have mentioned? Mr. Mulder, so your lordship, if we look at the work
Yes, you can
at
proceed
the
to
work
page
in
52.
clocking, that was 3 minutes to 4 and then outclocking, which was 1 minute past 6, and it just roughly gives you around 2 hours that Mr. Ntanzi was at work. Then furthermore, Mr. Mulder says, my lord, your lordship, then Mr., according to this record again, Mr. Ntanzi then had 2 excess clocking again. The first of those clocking after this work clocking was 2 minutes past 6, which is 1 minute after his work clock out, and then 3 minutes past 6, he exited his workplace. Further down, my lord, then it says, your lordship, the last clocking then on the outclocking for the 25th of October 2014 indicates an excess clocking at the hostel, which was 3 minutes to 7 minutes in the morning. And according to my observation, there is no further clocking. Your lordship, for the 26, 27, the 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 of October, or the 1st of November. The first clocking again registered on our locking system indicates the 2nd of November and 1 minute past 9 p.m. And it was again an excess clocking at the hostel.
Thank you. That's enough.
51. Yeah, 51.
So-
51 bese ushona ngayo. Yeah, 51. I think it is. Masiqhubeka ke ngabufakazi bakhe uMr Mulder. Lokho ke kuyaveza ke noma kuyachaza ke ukuthi umnumzana uNtanzi wase ephuma ke kwindawo yakhe yokusebenza umzuzu owodwa nje ngaphambi kokuthi ke kushaye u6. Wasebuza ke umshushisi ingabe lokho kusho ukuthi ke wasebenza isikhathi esingakanani ke nge25 zika October 2014 kuyinkathi lezi oyishilo noma ukhulumile ngazo. Esephendula ke uMr Mulder uma sibheka ke kumsebenzi kanye futhi ke nendlela ke yongena uphume lebizwa ngokuthi phecelezi ke indlela i-clocking system kwakuyimizuzu emithathu ke ngaphambi kokuthi kushaye u4 no futhi noma ephuma ke kwakumzuzu owodwa ngaphambi kokuthi ke kushaye u6. Lokho kusho ukuthi ke wasebenza amahora amabili noma amahora amabili ayisemsebenzini ngawo uMr Ntanzi. Iyaqhubeka ke ithi uma ke sibheka ke ama record futhi umnumzana uNtanzi ke waba nama access amabili ke okuclocka futhi elokuqala ke kusemuva kokuthi ke esebenzileke kwakuyimizuzu emibili emuva ko6 nokuthi ke nokuthi futhi umzuzu owodwa emuva kokuthi ke esephumileke kwindawo yakhe yokusebenza imizuzu emithathu eseshayileke u6 wase ephuma ke kuyona indawo yokusebenza. Uma egcina ke uclocka noma ke ephuma ke emsebenzini ngazo i25 ka October 2014 kuyasho ke ukuthi ke iaccess ke ye-clocking ehostel yona ke yayimizuzu emithathu ngaphambi kokuthi ke kushaye u7 ekseni. Futhi ke ngendlela ke engibheka noma engibuka ngayo akukho la aphinde aclocka khona noma angena khona ke emsebenzini amalanga ke nanga abhaliwe ke lana i28 is27 aphinda athi ke ngiyaxolisa ke i26 i27 i28 i29 ne30 ne31 zika October noma i1 zika November. Uma ngabe esephinda eclocka noma ke eregister futhi ke emsebenzini kuyona ke i-locking system yethu iveza i2 zika November kwakuwumzuzu nje owodwa ngaphambi kokuthi ke kushaye u9 ebusuku futhi ke eclocka futhi ke khona ehostel. Wabesebuza ke umshushisi manje ke lawo ma dates lawo osuwashilo ke i26 ka October 2014 kuyoshaya ke nge1 zika November 2014 akukho la aclocka khona noma ke akukho okutshengisayo ukuthi wangena ke emsebenzini. Sorry, page 52 lokho kwakuyimizuzu ke emithathu ngaphambi kokuthi ke phela la 52 sorry sure. Yes.
Thank you. You mentioned clocking records. We just want to show you Exhibit DD that were handed up through Mr. Mulder. you recognize those clocking records?
Yes, my lord. It is what Mr. Melder gave us, my lord. It was part of his statement, which was indicating the clocking pattern as per his statement, my lord.
Lana ke ikona ke lokho asitshela kona ke noma asinike kona ke uMr Mulder ngokuthi ke indlela ke yokukloka.
And in essence, my lord, it confirms what he says, that after accused 2 left in the morning of the 25th of October 2014, he only returned in November, my lord.
Futhi ke kuqinisekisa lokho akushilo
Of
ke
2014, my apologies.
akushilo ke uMr Mulder ukuthi imuva kokuthi wahamba ke emsebenzini umsolo wesibili ngazo i25 zika October 2014 wabe sebuya ngazo i2 November 2014.
Thank you. Mr. Mulder later on deposed an affidavit which has been handed up as Exhibit DD, Annexure 2. Just going to refer you to page 2 thereof, paragraph 5. If you can read just the contents of Roman figure 2 up to Roman figure 6.
Yes, Roman figure 2, the pay period reflects from the 18th of October 2014 to the 18th November 2014. Oh, my apologies, my lord. Let me just go to this. Yeah, the second one. That was the wrong line. On the 25th of October 2014, the calendar reflects that Mr. Ntanzi worked a normal end shift. His shift duration indicates that he was at work for 2 hours and 4 minutes, which corresponds to the clocking report presented to the court and on the 10th of October 2023. That part, and presented to the court as evidence on the 10th October 2023. Then on 26 October 2014 reflects as a non-working day, NW in brackets. So it's open bracket, my lord, NW close bracket, with a 0 hour and 0 minutes work clocking. Mr. Ntanzi was not expected or led to work, or was not expected. I don't see that other word, my lord, but said led to work, something to that effect.
Lana ke istatement ke sakhe ke uMr Mulder esifundeka ngalendlela nge25 ka October 2014 ikhalenda itshengisa ke ukuthi umnumzana uNtanzi wasebenza ke amahora ke enjwayelo noma ke bhalwe normal end shift. Isikhathi sakhe ke sokusebenza siyasho ukuthi wasebenza amahora amabili kanye nemizuzu emine ehambisanayo ke noma ekhulumisana ke nako ke imibiko noma ke ama clocking reports alethwa ke enkantolo nanjengobufakazi ngazo i10 zika October 2023. Ngi26 zika October 2014 ikhombisa noma itshengisa ke ukuthi kwakungasilona ke usuku okwakumele ke asebenzeke ngalo, ukukhombisa ukuthi amahora awekho kanye nemizuzu futhi ke ayikho etshengisa ukuthi ke wakloka ke nanjengoba umnumzana uNtanzi kwakungalindelekile ukuthi ke abe semsebenzini ngalelo langa lelo. Nge27 zika October 2024 kufika ke nge31 zika October 2014 iyasho ukuthi ke kwaku leave ke noma ke engakhokhelwa noma lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke unpaid leave, bese kuthi i2 ne3 zika November 2014 futhi ukuthi amalanga lawo ayengasebenzi ngawo.
Thank you. Thank you. Can then proceed. What happened further?
Yes, my lord. So after that, what is important, my lord, to mention also is that this assertion were made in the presence of accused number 2.
Okusemqoka ke nokubalekile ukuthi konke lokho okwakushiwo ke kwashiwo ekhona umsolwa wesibili.
My Lord, I do recall that we then exited that building. I do recall that I also confronted him with the identikit where I was of the view that the suspect reflected there with a hoodie. My view said it looks similar to him. I dealt with this, my Lord. I'm trying to summarize.
Yes, just give the interpreter a chance.
Okunye futhi ke sase siphuma ke kulelo bhilidi lelo ke okunye futhi engakhuluma naye ke ngikhuluma ngako kwakumalunga ke nesithombe lesi sasidwetshiwe ke identikit salona owayefake ihoodie bese ngikhulumile ke ngalokho kodwa ngizama nje ukuthi ke ngikufinyezeke ukuthi ke ngasho ke kuyeni ukuthi lo yamsola lo yana ke ufana naye.
I do recall, my Lord.
We just want to show you, sorry, Brick. We just want to show you Exhibit BB. Exhibit BB is on the screen.
Yes.
You can use that exhibit
Yes,
in
my Lord.
relation to your evidence.
Yes, indeed. So I showed him this identikit, my Lord, and I draw.
Which
his-
one?
I don't know if, but the suspect with a hoodie, my Lord. The one on the left, on my left, with a hoodie, wearing the hoodie.
So what did you do? What he said to you? You showed him.
I showed him and I said, I'm of the view that this is him. That was my view, that I think this person resembles him.
Engakwenza ke kuye ngikhuluma naye ke umsola wesibili ngase ngimtshengisa ke umsola lona ke lona ofake isigqoko ke lokho noma lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke ihoodie ke ngathi kuyena ke lona ke umsola ke uwena ngathi lona uwena lo.
Yeah, he
Lokho
resembles
engakusho
him.
ke.
He looks like him.
Noba ufana nawe lo.
Yes. There was a denial, my Lord. He said it's not true. It's a question of mistaken identity. That I remember.
Washo ke noma ke akuphika ke wathi cha lapho ke kwenziwa nje la iphutha ke lokho ngiyakhumbula kona.
I do recall, my Lord, that I warned him according to his rights again and cautioned him to consider telling the truth. And then I walked away because he was at the car now, at the vehicle that was used by Sergeant Mohani.
Ila engase ngisho khona noma ke ngase ngimtshela ke futhi ke ngamalungelo akhe ke futhi ke ngasho ke na ke ukuthi kufanele acabangisise ke ukuthi ke akhulumeke iqiniso ngabe sengihamba ke ngoba wayesesemotweni ke manje imoto le ayihamba ngayo no Sergeant Mohani.
When I was walking away, my Lord, I just don't remember which of the two members called me to say he wants to speak to me. This is now accused two.
Uma sengihamba ke angisakhumbule ke ukuthi imuphi ke kulamalunga ke esiphoyisa ke noma amaphoyisa ke alangibiza esho ke ukuthi ke umsolo wesibili ke ufisa ukuthi akhulume nami.
My Lord, when I returned, what he then said amounted to what led to the arrangement of the confession that was taken by Lieutenant Colonel Rapado.
Uma sengibuyela kuyena ke abakusho kumina ke ikona ke ekwaholela ekuthini ke kube sekunalesi statement ke manje esikhona ke lesi esabhalwa noma esathathwa uyena uKolonel Rapado.
And he was cautioned, my Lord, in terms of his constitutional rights. I've dealt with this thing. I just don't want to burden the record by repeating the same thing, my Lord. But I did caution him in terms of his constitutional rights when he made a confession, because in essence, he admitted that he was involved. He implicated accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay.
Mase kulokho ke manje ngase ke manje ngimtshela ke futhi ngimxwayisa ke ngamalungelo akhe ke ngoba kulokho ke awayesekukhuluma ke manje ke la wayesevuma khona ke futhi ke esho ke futhi nokubandakanyeka kwakhe ke noma ekhuluma efaka yena ke umangalelo wokuqala, umsolo wokuqala, owesithathu, owesine kanye futhi nowesihlanu.
Further mentioning my recollection, my lord, Mrs. Kelly Kumalo as the trigger point or the person who hired them to kill the deceased.
Ekusho ke nokuthi ke umuntu ke okwawuyena ke oweza ke kubona ke ukukhulumisana nabo ke ukuthi ke wabulale umufi kwaba uyena uMiss Kelly Khumalo.
I further recall the vehicle, the mention of a VW Polo being mentioned, my lord, by accused number 2 as the vehicle that was used during the commission of this offense.
Ngiyakhumbula ke esho nokusho ke yena ke umsolo wesibili ke ekhuluma ngemoto ke VW Polo.
Yes.
Esho ukuthi yona ke imoto eyayisetshenziswa ke uma ngabe kwenziwa kona lokho.
I further recall, my lord, that he mentioned that accused 3 was the one with the dreadlocks, and that is the person who fired the shot that killed the deceased.
Ngiyakhumbula esho futhi ke nokuthi ke umsolo wesithathu uyena ke owayenama dreadlocks futhi ke uyena ke owadubula ke umufi ukuthi aze ashone.
He further placed the role, my lord, of each accused. To say in other words, accused number 1 was standing outside, which indeed, my lord, was for the first time. I actually got a collaboration to confirm what accused 1 said in the 2 previous confessions, my lord.
Wabe esesho ke manje esesho ukuthi ke umsolo ngamunye ke ukuthi ke yini ke awayenza ke ngalelang esho ke nokuthi ke umsolo wokuqala yena ke wayeme ngaphandle ke ila engangisengiqala khona ke manje ukuthi ngithole ke into ke manje ke ehambisana ke nalokho ngoba ke kuyitatimende ezimbili ke zangaphambili zakhe ke umsolo accused number 1 you said.
Yes.
Zakhe umsolo wokuqala ila mase sengithola inkulumo ehlanganayo noma basho into eyodwa.
If you say the statement of accused number 1, which statement are you referring to?
I'm referring to the confessions taken by Colonel Mboto, my lord.
Ngikhuluma ngaso ke istatement ke noma ke sokugonyuluka ke lesi esasenziwe kuyena uKolonel Mbotho.
But also Lieutenant Colonel Khatebe, my lord, because he points out that you can see even in the photos as to where he was standing. He places himself outside.
Kodwa ke akupheleli lapho ke kodwa nakuyena ke uLieutenant Colonel Khatebe ngoba ke uyabona ke noma nakwisithombe lesi ke ebesiveziwe ke lana la akhomba khona ke la ashoyo ke ukuthi wayeme kuphi nendawo.
We're just going to show you the photo which we showed to you yesterday just to illustrate the point.
Yes.
Yes, you can use the photo to illustrate your evidence.
Yes, my lord. So that is the photo I was referring to, which was taken during the pointing out on the 5th of June 2020, where accused 1 is pointing the position where he was standing, which is places him outside the house, because we know that the shooting incident happened inside the house, my lord.
Lesi ke isona isithombe lesi engikhuluma ngaso ke sange-5 zika June 2020 ila khona ke umsolo wokuqala ashoyo ke noma khombayo ke ukuthi wayeme kuphi ke nendawo la yena ke ayibeka ngaphandle ke endlini ngoba siyazi ukuthi uma ngabe kudutshulwa lokho kwenzeka ngaphakathi endlini.
Just for record purposes, that is exhibit GG1.
Okay, my lord, yes. Noted.
And just place the photo number on record.
So this will be photo number 16, 16, my lord.
Sithombe lesi ke number 16.
Yes.
My lord, I wanted to say, yeah, so I said at that stage, especially the part where it says accused one was standing outside, that collaboration was then, for me, it actually confirmed what accused one has been saying all along.
Manje ke uma ke esefinyelela kuleyo ndawo ke umsolo wesibili ke la ashoyo ke khona ukuthi umsolo wokuqala wayeme kuphi ke nendawo ke lokho ke kwase ke manje sekuqinisekisa ke lokho bekade kushiwo umsolo wokuqala ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuthi wayeme kuphi nendawo.
I'm emphasizing this point, my lord.
Yes. Yes. Then don't make any inferences lest you draw some heat on my left-hand side. Just,
All right.
Just present facts.
All right, my lord. So I'm saying this, my lord, because before we approach, and this is a fact, before we approach accused number 1, we had a statement of Mr. Absalom Zungu, who simply directed us to accuse 1 and 2.
Okay. Ngikusho lokhu ke ngoba ke ngaphambilini kokuthi ngiye kuyena ke umsolo wokuqala ke sasinaso ke istatement sakhe umnumzana uAbsalom Zungu okuyena ke manje owayesikhomba ke noma esikhombisa ke ngakuhlangothi kamsolo wokuqala nowesibili.
And at that stage also, my lord, it matched the statement of the people who were inside the house who said they saw 2 suspects who came inside the house and demanded cell phone and money.
Futhi ke lokho kwase kuqinisekisa ke lokho okwashiwo ke abantu ke ababesendlini ukuthi kwangena ababili ke ngaphakathi endlini base befuna ke imali kanye nomakhalekhukhwini.
So I'm saying, my lord, in essence, when accused 1 said he was outside, before we go to accused number 2, I did not believe him. I thought he was misleading when I read, first when he told me and subsequently obviously confirming what is contained in the confession. I thought, no, something is amiss because I've got 2 people who fit now, obviously, who were supposed to be inside the house. I was not aware of someone who was standing outside. So I didn't believe it, my lord. But the point I'm going to is that now when accused 2 came into the picture, he now confirms that there were actually more than 2 people, and indeed accused 1 was standing outside.
Manje ke engiyakona ke noma ke engifisa ukuthi ngikusho ke manje ukuthi umsolo wokuqala uma ngabe esengitshela ukuthi yena ke wayemi kuleya ndawo ke ayikhombayo ke ngaphandle ke lapho ke angizange ngimkholwe ke ngoba ke ngase kungahlanganike kumina ke manje ngoba ke la nginabantu ababili ke manje futhi ke abafithayo ke kulencazelo enginikiwe kodwa manje uma sekufika ke umsolo wesibili ke engitshela ke ukuthi umsolo wokuqala wayemi kuphi nendawo ngaphandle nokuthi futhi ke babengekho babili abantu babe lapho kodwa ngaphezulu kwalokho.
My lord, I do recall that accused 5 was mentioned as the person who drove the said getaway car.
Ngiyakhumbula ngitshelwa ke futhi ukuthi umsolo wesihlanu ke kwakuyena owayeshayela imoto leyo ekwakuhanjwa ngayo.
And that accused 4, I think, was one of the stoppers, my lord.
Nokuthi ke umsolo wake wesine kwakuwomunye wabantu ababemile ke lapho bebhekile ukubiza ngokuthi ke ubrigadier istopa ama istopa.
My lord, I don't recall the exact amount, but I do know that it was also mentioned to me that accused 2 was paid. He received some money, a certain share. I'm just not sure about the amount. I don't want to put the wrong figure.
Ngiyakhumbula ke ngitshelwa ke ukuthi ke impela ke umsolo wesibili ke wakhokhelwa ke noma ke ikhona ke imali awayinikwa angisakhumbuli nje ukuthi kwakuyimali nike angifuni nje ukuthi ngisho ke inani engasilona.
What is important, my lord, is that and I'll go back to what followed obviously after our discussion. What is important is that when I received then the confession statement from Colonel Rapadu, I then noticed that what he told me was indeed contained in the annexure of exhibit HH.
Ngizobuyela ke kona ke lokho kodwa ke engakubona ke noma engaqaphela ke ukuthi ke lokho ewayengitshele kona ke uma sengithola ke manje istatement lesi esasithathwe nomasipala uyena ke uKolonel Rapadu ke kuyona ke lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke iannexure ke yakhe ke exhibit HH kwakukhona kubhaliwe lapho.
Just a minute. Yes.
My lord, I was better able to establish that he was in his clear, sober senses and that he was willing to make a statement to an independent officer freely and voluntarily, and that then resulted the arrangement of Colonel Rapado.
Okunye futhi ke ngakuthola ke noma ngakuthola ke ukuthi ke wayesha emqondweni yakhe ke ngokupheleleke futhi ke wayeyimisele ukuthi ke ayokhuluma ke nomuntu ke ingakho ke kwase kutholakala yena ke manje uKenneth Rapadu ukuthi kube uyena ke othatha istatement lesi.
Yes, just a minute. Yes.
Yes, my lord. Then thereafter, then arrangements were then made with Colonel Rapadu when we found him, who said then he should be brought to Morocco on the 19th. That is the following day. I then made arrangements between him and Sergeant Mohane, who will be moving the suspect, because I knew accused two. On that day also had to appear in Phosphorus. So, but basically I've connected Sergeant Mohane with Colonel Rapadi insofar as the obtaining of this confession, exhibit HH, my lord.
Kwase khona ke khulumisana ke sazwana ke naye ke uKenneth Rapadu wase ethi ke akalethwe ke kuyena ke emahhovisi eMoroka ngazo i19 ngiyazi ke ukuthi ke futhi ngase ngihlanganisa ke ukuthi akhulumisane naye ke uSergeant Mohane ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi ngalelo langa lelo kufanele ukuthi ayobingelela imantshi umsolo wesibili ePhosphorus.
Yes. That was done, my lord. As I said, that was done, and as I said, 2 days later or so, then I obtained the confession statement from Colonel Rapadi together with his statement.
Kwenziwa ke lokho nanjengoba ngishilo ke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke kumalanga amabili ke emuva kwalokho ngase ngihamba ke ngiyolanda ke istatement lesi kuyena ke uKenneth Rapadu kanye nestatement sakhe futhi yena ke uKenneth.
Thank you. Now, in light of the version that was put on record earlier on, which Mr. Mgomezulu put on record, that you came with a statement that it was already made. We are going to traverse exhibit HH with you. Requesting you to comment on each and every allegation as to whether you knew about what is stated in that statement. If I can then ask you to refer to the annex of exhibit HH.
Yes, my lord.
You can go ahead. It was handed up as exhibit HH in brackets 1, the annexure.
Yes, should I read the entire annexure or just paragraph by paragraph?
Yes, just read the entire annexure.
All right. It reads as follows, my lord. I, Bongani Sandison Tanzi, 30 years of age, 3125 Freedom Park 2, Rustenburg, states the following in Zulu and translated into English. That...
Did you know of these particulars that appear there?
No, I did not know, my lord. I did not even know accused number 2. And that assertion, my lord, is not only something that I will not do. It is unethical and unlawful. So there is no way I would have involved myself in such illegal activities because the consequences are simply criminal, my lord. And there's a sanction for that. So I did not know the accused. This is now accused 2. It was the first time I came across him when his name was mentioned. He was never even investigated by me for any other matter previously. And that applies with all the accused in this matter, my lord.
Manje ke lana ubrigadier uqeda ukufunda ke imininingwane yakhe uBongani Sandiso Ntanzi efundeka ngalendlela ukuthi mina Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi neminyaka ewu30 ngaleso sikhathi ke uhlala ke okay kwa 3125 eFreedom Park 2 eRustenburg ngisho lokho kulandelayo ke ngesiZulu nokuthi kwase kukhulunyishwa futhi ke ngesingisi. Manje umshushisi uyabuza ukuthi le mininingwane obuyazi noma obunayo yini. Uthi cha bakangamazi umsolwa, akukho necala engangeliphenya noma lake la ngihlanganisa naye ke, futhi ke nokuthi nje bengeke ngeze nje ngiyenze into enjalo ngoba ke ingekho emthethweni, ngiyazi nemiphumela yayo futhi ukuthi iyini ukuthi ngenze okunjalo.
And as we go through the statement, if there's any objective fact that accords with what you read, you can mention that without giving a running comment,
Yes.
without giving a personal opinion. Yes, thank you.
Okay, noted, my lord.
Yes.
So it goes further to say, during mid-October 2014, I received a call from a friend, Mthokoziseni, who was with Mapisa. He informed me about an urgent work that needs to be done, and they need my assistance.
Yes, just a minute.
I thought he was going to finish. It's fine. Can just bother it again. Kwaku maphakathi ke no-October ngo-2015 ngathola ke ucingo olalubuya kumngani wami uMthokoziseni owaye naye ke uMaphisa wangitshela noma wangazisa ke ukuthi ke kwakunomsebenzi ophuthumayo okwakudingeka ukuthi ke wenziweke nokuthi babedinga usizo lwami.
Now, did you or any member of your team know about this, what is stated in this paragraph?
No, we did not, my lord. As I said, up to the stage when we got to this accused, what we had and what I had and what I believed was the case was that accused 1 and 2 were actually the perpetrators. We are not aware of accused 3, 4, and 5. So the only lead that we had is that these are the 2 perpetrators. As per the statement that we had, that, my lord, correlated with the people who were inside the house who said 2 perpetrators came in. So up to the time we go to accused number 2, my mind was that accused 1 is misleading when he said he was outside. I thought he was actually inside. Now we go to accused number 2, and then the change of the direction of the investigation then changes because now it brings new players into the picture.
Manje ke lokhu ke wena ke noma ithimba lakho lokuqeda ufunda ke manje ke lapha ukuthi wathola ucingo lalubuya kuMthokoziseni wayekanye noma Phisa ukuthi kunomsebenzi ke ophuthumayo kufanele wenziwe badinga ke ukuthi alekelele. Ingabe wena ke nethimba lakho nanikwazini lokho? Uthi cha sasengakwazi ke thina ke esasikwazi noma mina ke enganginakho ukuthi ke kwakuwabantu ababili ngoba lokho kwakuhambisana naloko okwakushiwo abantu ababephakathi ke endlini ukuthi kwangena abantu ababili nokuthi futhi uma ngabe umsolo wokuqala engitshela ukuthi yena ke wayemi ngaphandle endlini ngangithi ke uyangikhohlisa ke kona lokho kodwa kwaze kwaba isikhathi la khona ke manje sengifinyelela noma sengifica ke kumsolo wesibili ke la manje uphenyo selishintsha khona ke manje ngoba yena ke uqinisekisa lokho kushiwo umsolo wokuqala ukuthi umsolo wokuqala bengaphandle abe esesho nabanye ke abantu ukuthi kwakukhona nabanye.
It goes further, my lord, to say Carlos was nearby as I would hear his voice in the background. I promised to assist and I decided to leave for Johannesburg. I then left for Phosphorus Men's Hostel and then met with Moses Sibiya, Sifiso Zungu, also known as Sinkani, who initially gave me the inside information. Later, Carlos Buthelezi and Mapisa joined the gathering at the hostel.
Carlos, yeah. Oh, okay. Lana iqhubeka ke isithi ke lesi statement lesi ke uCarlos wayeseduze ke nanjengoba ngangizwa ke ilizwi lakhe ke ngasemuva ngathembisa ke ukuthi ngizolekelela ngase ngithatha ke isinqumo sokuthi ke ngihambe ke ngiye eGoli ngahamba ke ngiya eFosloras ehostel yabantu besilisa noma eyamadoda ke ngahlangana khona ke noMuzi Sibiya uSifiso Zungu owaziwa futhi ke nanjengonkani okuyena ke owaqala noma ke owanginikeza ke imininingwane kamuva ke uCarlos Buthelezi kanye noMaphisa base nabo ke behlangana beba yingxenye ke yaleyo mhlangano ke ehostel.
Thank you. You've already commented on what is contained in this paragraph, but did you know of the names that are mentioned in this paragraph?
No, I did not, my lord. What we're simply able to establish, but obviously at a later stage when we're collaborating, the statement was really to say we already knew accused number 1, which is Moses Sibia, his name is mentioned. Carlos Buthelezi were able to match that person, although the same name is moved to accused 3. And I think the names for accused 4 and 5 are self-explanatory, my lord. They are mentioned straightforward. But I did not know, as I said, my lord, we only had inside accused 1 and 2. 3, 4, and 5 was something that was not on my side. We didn't have anything tangible.
Nanjoba ngishilo ke ngaphambilini ke ukuthi lana ke manje kukhulunywa ngamagama ke yebo ke sasazi ke ngaye umuzi sibiya ke kodwa ke amagama amanye lana ke kwakungamagama ke esasingazi ke kodwa ke uyawasho ke lana uCarlos Buthelezi ke kodwa ke sibonga kube uyena ke umncube kanye futhi ke naye ke uNtuli noma ke uZungu nanjoba kushiwo ke lana kanye noMaphisa kodwa nanjoba ngishilo ke ngaphambilini ukuthi thina ke sasazi nje ngaye umsola ke oqala kanye nowesibili.
You have just mentioned that in the course of your investigations, you were able to match the name Carlos Buthelezi to accused number 3. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, my lord, during the interview with some of the witnesses, my lord, who gave us statements, they did say Carlos Buthelezi and accused 3. It's basically one and the same person. So that came out during the investigation process.
Nanjoba ngishilo ukuthi ke uma sithola igama leli ke lika Carlos Buthelezi ke ile gama leli esalihlanganisa ke nayo ke umsolo wesithathu ukuthi lokho kwatholakala ke uma ngabe sesineinhlolo khona ke nama interview nofakazi ke noma nabantu ke abasitshela ke ukuthi ke uCarlos Buthelezi ke number 3 umuntu nje oyedwa lo.
Yes.
It reads further, my lord, to say I was briefed that the person to be eliminated or killed was Senzo Meyiwa, and the matter is initiated by Kelly Kumalo, who was going to make a payment for the whole job. We were positioned accordingly that Nkani will be the driver, Moses Sibia will be the guard, and myself and Carlos will get inside Kelly Kumalo's house. Maphisa will be outside as a backup. Surveillance was conducted.
Okay, sure. Ngase ngaziswa noma ngitshelwa ke ukuthi ke umuntu lowo kwakufanele ukuthi ke agudlulwe noma ke bulaweke kwakuyena uSenzo Meyiwa nokuthi ke futhi ke umuntu ke oweza nako konke lokho noma ke owaqala ke lokho kwakuKelly Kumalo okwakuzoba uyena ke owayezokhokha ke ngawo wonke lowo msebenzi noma ke leyo job leyo. Sase simiswa ke ngalendlela ke ukuthi ke unkani kwakuzoba uyena owayezoba umshayeli, uMoses Sibia uyena ke owayezogada ke noma ke abheke ke nokuthi mina ke kanye naye uCarlos sasizongena ngaphakathi kuboKelly noma ke kumuzi wakuboKelly, uMaphisa wayezoba ke ngaphandle ke yena noma ke abheke yena noma ke abisetshenziswe igama la lithi ke ibackup ngaphandle.
Now, did you know of the roles played by the persons mentioned here in this paragraph, except for Moses Sibia, as you've already testified?
No, my lord, I did not know at all. As I say, my lord, and I want to keep on going back, it was new information. It was something that was not contained. The only, perhaps let me just qualify this part, my lord. The only part or reference where, and I saw that at a later stage, where the name of accused 3 was mentioned was insofar as the first investigating team, not me, my lord, mentioned it in the investigation diary, where they said they had information, they followed it up, but it was negative. But insofar as this team is concerned, my lord, I had no clue whatsoever.
Manje ke ngokuthi ke ubani wayezokwenzani ke noma nanjengoba kushiwo ke lana ingaba wena noma ithimba lakho nanikwazi ke cha sasingazilutho sasingenako ke lokho kodwa ke engifisa nje ukuthi ngikusho ke noma ngichaze ke ukuthi ke kwithimba ke elaliphenya noma ke elalingaphambi kwethu ke noma ngoba lalikhona ke ithimba elaliphenya ngaphambi kwethu uCarlos ke lona ke uButhelezi ke kwakhulunyiwe ke ngaye futhi sorry ngizes Maphisa. My apologies ngenze iphutha lapho uMaphisa ke babekhulumile ke ngaye kodwa ke basho ukuthi kuloko abakulandelela ke akukho abakuthola ke kwakuyilokho nje kuphela ke kodwa ke akukho esasikwazi ukuthi ubani wayezokwenzani.
So I was not aware of these roles, my lord.
So ukuthi ke ubani kwakuyini umsebenzi wakhe ngangingakwazi.
Yes.
Then it goes further, my Lord, to say Sunday at about between 1900 hours and 2000 hours, we then proceeded to the address. I went with Carlos and others took their position as discussed during the planning. When we entered the house, Carlos shouted in Zulu.
It's Karos.
Carlos, yes, Carlos. Carlos, correct, my Lord. When we entered the house, Carlos shouted in Zulu, Panzi, I'll read it as it is, my Lord. Panzi, imali, ne ma cell phone.
Thank you.
Okay, ngesonto ke kwakuphakathi ke kwehora lesikhombisa kanye ke nehora lesishiyagalombili ila esaqhubeka ke manje saya khona ke kulelo kheli lelo ngangena ke mina kanye naye uCarlos abanye ke bema ke kwindawo zabo noma ama position abo ke nanjengoba ke kwakuboniswe noma ke kwakukhulunyiwe uma ngabe sekwenziwa ke i-planning. Uma sesingenile ke ngaphakathi emzini uCarlos wamemeza ke ngesizulu wathi phansi imali nama cellphone.
Now, did you know of these roles ascribed to various participants?
My Lord, what I knew is that insofar as, and that was picked up at the analysis stage, that the statements of the people who were in the house indicate that the two perpetrators or the intruders did demand or make shout or demanded cell phones and money and in Zulu. So that I knew insofar as what was contained in the statements.
Lokhu ke okubhalelana ke noma ke yabuza umshushisi ukuthi wakwazini mala nalokhu ke engangikwazi ke uma ngabe sisiqala ke uphenyo ke kubantu ke ababe ngaphakathi ke endlini ukuthi labo ababili abangena ke basho ngesizulu bathi ke imali nama cellphone ilokho ke engangikwazi.
So in essence, my Lord, there was a collaboration that what was contained or what is contained here, it actually matched what was said by the people who were inside the house, who then witnessed these two intruders who demanded cell phones and money in Zulu.
Manje ke lokhu ke okubhaliwe ke lana noma ke okushiwo ke kulesi statement kwakuyinto eyayihlangana ke noma ke ihambisana ke naloko okwashiwo ilabo ababephakathi ke endlini ukuthi labo ababili abangena basho ngesizulu bathi ke imali nama cellphone.
Please, Malata, see it's just before the long adjournment. Can we take the long adjournment at this point?
Okay. 2 o'clock then.